Hello friends and welcome to YouTube channel Freedom Tech, and in this session what we are going to learn. In this session we are going to create our own custom object detection model which detect cattle, and then with the help of our model of course we will detect our cattle class, and then we are going to create a counter using ultralytics solution, and then we will save the count data inside our Excel sheet. And then we have here Grok Cloud API key, we have here our Gemini API key. So with the help of these API keys we have our own chatbot. So we can simply send our Excel sheet inside our chatbot, and with the help of our data we can simply ask the queries related to our data set, our database, with the help of our AI agent, our own AI agent. Simple. So this is what our target. Before we move to our practical, friends, if you learn something from our videos, please consider to subscribe our channel. Okay friends, thank you so much, and let's get started. So friends, as I mentioned, today we are going to create our own custom object detection model with the help of ultralytics YOLO11. Also we will save the data, we will save the count data inside Excel sheet, and then we have our own chatbot, our own AI agent. So we are going to simply pass our Excel sheet in our chatbot, and then we can simply ask the queries related to our database. Simple. So for that, first we need our repository. So this is what our repository, ultralytics YOLO11, your own AI agent. So I will mention the link. You need to simply copy paste the link inside web browser, then go to the code and click on download zip. It will download our zip format repository. As you can see, we successfully download our repository. So what we will do here, we will create our own virtual environment with the help of Thony Python IDE. So simply open Thony Python IDE, then go to the run config interpreter, and here we will create a new virtual environment. But first we want to create a new folder for our virtual environment. So let's just open file manager, downloads, and here I will create a new folder, Freedom Tech. You can mention any name. So I have mentioned here Freedom Tech. This is what our folder, and then this is where we are going to select the new virtual environment. Let me show you again. This is what our Thony Python ID. Just go to the run config interpreter, and here new virtual environment, just select the option. After clicking OK, you need to choose the empty directory. So directory which we just created, Freedom Tech. Click on OK, and the directory where you create. So I have created a new directory, or we can say new folder inside downloads. So I will select the Freedom Tech folder, select folder. Now it will create our own virtual environment for this project. So friends, as you can see, we successfully created our own virtual environment. Let's just click on OK, done. So this is the path. As you can see, this is the path where we mentioned this is the folder, and this is what our virtual environment now. Now simply we will move our repository inside our virtual folder. So just open file manager, and this is what our repository, as you can see, ultralytics. So cut, and this is what the folder, our virtual folder, and this is all the virtual files. So just paste it, right click to the folder, WinRAR, and extract the folder name. So it will create our folder like this way. So this is what our folder. Now first we want to install all the packages. So inside repository I have mentioned requirements.txt file. So what we will do, we will simply go here, click on here, and this is the path, right click, copy it path. So we copy the path of our repository, then open again Thony Python IDE, go to the tools, open system shell, and just mention here cd and right click, it will paste the path. Let me show you again. Here there is some issue because it's copy paste the path again and again. So what we will do, let me remove the path. So cd, and then I will again just press Ctrl+V, and here you will see that the path is C users freedom downloads Freedom Tech, and this is what our folder, and this is what our folder full path. Yes, so this is what our path. Now simply hit enter, and as you can see, now we are inside our folder. we are inside our folder. So remember one thing, you need to simply copy paste the path from our repository. This is what our repository, this is what our all the files. Go here, just click on it and then right click, copy the path, open Thony, go to the tools, open system shell, and then just cd and then press Ctrl+V. It will paste the path which we mentioned and then just hit enter. Now as you can see, we are inside this directory. Done. So here inside this directory, means inside this repository, we have our requirements.txt file. So simply we will run the command pip3 install -r req and then just press tab button. It will auto complete our requirements.txt file name, then just hit enter. And now as you can see, it's installing all our packages which we require for this project. So friends, as you can see, we successfully installed all the packages which we require. Now we will simply create our own model. So let's just close the shell and we will open our repository again. So downloads, freedom tech folder, and inside that we have our repository. So this is what our video file, friends. As you can see, we have here cattles and our goal is to create a counter. Our goal is to create a counter. So simply what we will do, we will create our own custom object detection model which detect this cattle. So for that we will use RoboFlow. So let's just open RoboFlow. I have already opened. You need to simply log in with your Gmail ID and that's it. It will create the account on your RoboFlow. So then click on new project and then we will mention the project name. So I will mention YOLO11 and then the annotation group. So I will mention annotation group is basically the class name which we will create. So class name is basically cattle, simple, and visibility you can select private or you can simply go with public domain. So for this project we will create a segmentation model because the segmentation model is more perfect. So we will create here YOLO11 segmentation model. So YOLO11 is just a project name, you can mention any, and this is basically our class. We have here only one class which is cattle, and I will select instance segmentation and then click on create private project. It will create our project. Done. So we create our project. Now we want to simply upload our video file for database. So click on select file. Then this is what our repository, as you can see, and inside that we have our cattle count.mp4 file. Just select it, click on open. Now it will upload our file, and as you can see, this is what our file. So here output size 5 images. So 5 images is more or less data, so we will simply increase the images. So let's just go back, and then I will go with 30 images. So 30 images is more than enough, and then simply click on choose frame rate, and now it will create a 30 images data set. As you can see, friends, done. We created 30 images with the help of our own video file. Now here we will select how we want to create the labeling. So click on start manual labeling and then click on assign to myself, means assign to yourself, of course, and then annotating. So here we will simply click on start annotating, then just click on close, and now as you can see, this is what our first image, first by 30. So this is what our first image, and because we select our class already, so that's why there is a smart polygon is option there. So what we will do here, as I mentioned, we will create a segmentation model. So we want a polyline, but instead of polyline we will select here a rectangle. So just go here and click on bounding box tool like this way, just first tool which is bounding box, and select what we want to label. So here I will select this cattle. Let me first click on delete here, and then again I will select the bounding box, and then I will draw a bounding box on this cattle like this way. draw it, that's it, and then right click, convert to smart polygon. Now as you can see, it is really easy to create a polygon with the help of this tool. And then we have our class name, which is cattle. Just simply click on save. Done. Now for this cattle, as you can see, for this cattle we will select manually a polyline. So we will go here, polygon tool, as you can see, select it, and then I will go like this way, here, 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 then here, again here, 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 like this way, and then I will merge where we start. Done. Cattle class, click on save. Because if I draw here a bounding box, then it will basically merge the bounding box into this one. So that's why here we cannot clearly see the object, so we can simply select the manually polygon tool. So for that I have selected polygon tool. Now we can see this cattle is clearly. So again we can simply select a bounding box tool, simply draw the bounding box tool, right click, convert it. As you can see, it's convert into polygon. Click on save. Now we will go for next image. Again same way, draw here, right click, convert to smart polygon. It will convert our bounding box into smart polygon. Click on save. Now let's just try for this one also. So here I will draw a bounding box like this way, right click, convert to smart polygon, and as you can see, we can simply select it. This is completely depending upon you. If you see the object which you want to train clearly, then you can simply draw the rectangle and right click, it will automatically convert with the smart polygon. That's it. Now here again I will draw a bounding box, right click, convert to smart polygon, click on save, go for next image. Again same way, draw it, right click, convert to smart polygon, click on save. For this cattle also, right click, convert to smart polygon, save it, and as you can see, we can clearly see here we train two cattle objects basically. So 2 is there. Now this one is third one, right click, convert to smart polygon, click on save it. Simple. So this is how I will draw a polygon on each object. So let me draw the polygon, then I will start video again. So friends, we have completed our annotations process, and as you can see, this is what our last image, 30 out of 30. Then simply go here, click on YOLO11, and then now we want to add our images into dataset. So click on add 30 images to dataset, then click on add images. Done. We want to simply click on versions. Here it is, as you can see, versions train. Just click on versions, and then you will see this kind of dashboard. Generate a dataset version. So just scroll down and just click on continue, then augmentation, click on continue, then create, click on create button, and now it will create our dataset. So first we need now our Google Colab file. So let me open Google Colab, and then we will start our training. So friends, I have opened Google Colab. As you can see, just click on upload, click on browse, download, freedom tag, our repository, and again same folder, and inside that I have mentioned our Colab file. Select it, click on open. Now it will upload our Colab file. So friends, we successfully upload our file. Now we will simply select our GPU, go to the runtime, then change runtime type, select T4 GPU, select Python 3, click on save, and then click on connect. So friends, we successfully connected. Now just click on first cell. We will run our cell one by one. Then next cell, it will install all the packages which we require for this project. So friends, we install our packages. Now just import the packages. Ultralytics import YOLO, ipython.display import display and image. And then now we will cross check if our Ultralytics is perfectly installed or not. So simply we will use your YOLO11 sec.pt model, and we will use the image from RoboFlow itself. And then now let's just run our cell. So friends, as you can see, done. We have one person, one dog. So it means we successfully detecting object. So if you go here and if you click on this folder icon, we have here runs, and inside that we have segment and then predict and then doc.jpg. As you can see, just double click, and then as you can see, this is what our segmentation with rectangle and class name. So it means we successfully install your ultralytics YOLO11 on our Google Colab machine. So we are ready, and now we will simply upload our code from our RoboFlow. So just visit the RoboFlow again, click on download dataset, and we will select the format. So our format is basically here YOLO11 in txt. As you can see, in txt YOLO11 selected, and then click on show download code. So just click on continue, and then we have our code. Just copy as it is from to YOLO11, from to YOLO11, copy it, right click, copy, open our Colab, and then here also from to select YOLO11, delete it, and then press Ctrl+V. This is what our new code. Then just click on run button, done. So we successfully upload our code. Now let me make like this way again, and then we will again click on the folder. If you go here dataset, we have YOLO11 folder, then we have test folder, trend folder, and here we have our data.yml file. Just double click to the data.yml file, and here it is. As you can see, we have our cattle class. It means we have our data.yml perfectly ready. Only what we want to do here, we want to mention some changes. We want to mention the full path. So train, just go here, train, this where we can simply see we have 3 dots here, select it, and then just click on copy path, go here in data.yml file, remove the path, old path, and press Ctrl+V. It will paste the new path. Then same for val, validate. So just remove val and go here valid, click on 3 dot, copy path, go here, Ctrl+V, paste it. Same way for test, remove the test, older path, go here, test, 3 dot, copy path, go here, data.yml, Ctrl+V, it will paste the path, done. This is the changes which we want to mention. Now simply here, press Ctrl+S, it will save our data.yml, close it, done. Now this is what our training code. Here we will use YOLO11 seg.pt, and this is what our data.yml. So just go here, data.yml, select it, 3 dot, copy path, and remove the old path, remove it, that's it. Data is equal to our data.yml path which we copy. So just press Ctrl+V, done. Epochs 100, image size 640, all is good. Now we will simply start our training. So friends, as you can see, our training is started, so it will take some time. Meanwhile, I will pause video. So friends, we completed our training, and if I go here in again this small folder icon, and we have here runs folder, as you can see runs, then we have here segment, then we have here train, weights, and then we have our own model base.pt. Click on this 3 dot, click on download, and it will download our base.pt model. So we successfully download our model. Now let's just close Colab, let's just close RoboFlow, and we will simply open our file manager, downloads, and then this is what our model base.pt. Right click, cut, move the model inside Freedom Tech, which is our virtual directory, and again we have our own repository for project, and then just paste it our model over here. So here now we will simply open our code. So YOLO11 seg-track.py, let's just open our code, and here I have already mentioned the region points which we want for counting, and this is what our cattle count.mp4, basically our video file, and this is what our model base.pt, then display in count show true, then display out count also true, and the line width which we use for counting the object, the width is basically 2, simple, and then we will simply use frame is equal to counter.count. Counter is basically our variable which represent our object counter, simple. And then from tracker1 import object counter. So what is tracker1? Tracker1 is basically ultralytics file. So tracker1, as you can see from ultralytics solution, as I mentioned, we will use ultralytics solution file, but here we will not use their online file. I have already downloaded their file, solution file, and I have mentioned some changes because we want to save our data inside Excel sheet. So we want to mention our Excel sheet code inside our tracker.py. So here it is, as you can see, I have mentioned import CSV. So from this tracker, we will track the object, we will count the object, also it will save the data as per current date. So means whenever you run the code as per current date, you have new Excel sheet, new data with new data, simple. So this is what our tracker.py. So from this tracker.py, the object counter is class which we will call in our main code. So from tracker1, our file name, and object counter is basically the class, as simple as. Now let's just run our code. So here it is, as you can see, now it's started basically code, and let me show you here. Right now there is no CSV file, but when the counting start, here it is, as you can see, when the counting start, we have here in 1, means we count 1. Also, as you can see, let me freeze here one frame, let me freeze here 0, save the code. If I run the code, we will go frame by frame. So here it is, as you can see, because this cattle is already counted, so that's why it's basically already cross our line, the center point, that's why it's not counted basically. So cattle and ID2 is assigned for this particular cattle, and then we have this cattle. So for this cattle we have, as you can see, the class name and their ID1. So before crossing this line, we have blue color rectangle cattle ID1. ID1 is basically the tracking ID which assigning with the help of ultralytics solution, assigning for each cattle. Each cattle we have unique ID. For this cattle we have 1, for this cattle we have 4, for this cattle we have 7, as you can see. So this is how we basically track the object. So when this cattle cross the line, as you can see, as soon as basically not cross the line, as soon as the rectangle center point which we mentioned inside this tracker1 file, when the center point of object cross the line, then we have ID1, and then the count number is 1, means this is the first cattle which we count. And here, as you can see, in 1 means this is basically out and this is basically in. So in we count 1 cattle. So we have ID1 which is the track ID, and this cattle we count as a 1, first cattle. So ID1 count at number 1, simple. So watch here, ID4 we count in 1, so this is 1, and then ID4, now ID4 as soon as the touch the line, we have ID4, this is for this cattle, track ID ID4, and we count this ID4 at number 2. So this is what my number 2 count, and cattle in count 2. ID7, so this is what my cattle 3, so when the cross line, ID7 count number 3, as simple as. And here I have mentioned, for our knowing purpose, I have mentioned it that don't stop the video, continuously repeat the video, so we can simply have number of count. So let's just save the code. If I run the code, here it is, as you can see, cap set CV to cap drop frames, means it will, when the frame is over, it will again start a video, simple. So here it is, as you can see, we count 3, 4, the same video again, it will repeat again and again, same video. Let's just count 10, done. Let me stop the video. Now if you open our repository, here it is, as you can see, we have our track objects, and today's date is basically 25/11/2024, so .csv. So this is what my Excel sheet where we have our data. Data in the sense we have the ID, and let me make like this way. Here, here, and this is what date, and this is what time. So track ID 1, this is basically track ID 1471, because we again start the counting. So this is the track ID, and this is the label, and count number 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and this is the date, and this is the current time. Each cattle time, simple. So this is the data, Excel sheet data. You will get the data for each date separately. Each date we have new Excel sheet. Now, as I mentioned, we have here our own chatbot. We can say simply we have here own AI agent. So with the help of this agent, we can ask the queries related to this data sheet. So for that, first we need a Gemini API key. Also we need a Grok Cloud API key. So let's just open Gemini API key. So friends, as you can see, get started with Gemini. So let's just click on get started with Gemini, and then here this is what their page. Here we will create our API key. So click on get API key. Then I have already created one, so I will remove the one, and then I will create new one. So click on create API key. It will create the API key. Simply you have to mention the project name. So I will select one which I have already done. So Freedom Tech Google, you can mention any name. This is just a project name. And then click on create API key. It will create the API key for Gemini. Then click on copy, open our repository, and let's just create here simple text file, new, and then text document, and mention the document name key.txt. Open it, and then just save the key file, save it. So we're done with Gemini API key. Close it. Now we will open Grok Cloud. So friends, as you can see, console.grok.com. So this is what Grok Cloud. So here we will use API key, and then I have already created the one. So I will remove the one, and then click on create API key. Freedom Tech, select the name, click on submit, and I will submit, and then it will create our API key. Just click on copy, and again open our text file, and then here I will save the Grok Cloud API key also. Close it, close all these things, done. And now we have our API key. So let's just open our code. So csv agent.py, this is what our own chatbot agent. So let's just open the code, and I have already mentioned the full code, so no worries. Here we will simply mention the API key. So this is what Grok API key. So let's just open our text file. So requirements.txt, or not requirements.txt, we create here key.txt, and this is what our Grok Cloud API key, and the key which basically start from capital A, which is our Gemini API key. So let's just copy Gemini API key, and then here Gemini API key, just press Ctrl+V, it will paste our Gemini API key. Then Grok Cloud API key, which basically start from G, copy it, and then just paste it over here. Done. Save it, and now this is basically Streamlit app. Here it is, as you can see, I have called Streamlit. So we want to run this code with the help of our shell, we can say. So again we will go here, tools, open system shell. This is what our shell, and this is what our repository. As you can see, ultralytics YOLO11 own AI agent, and inside that we have our csv agent.py code. So we run our code with the help of Streamlit. Simply run the command like this way: streamlit space run, and mention our file name, which is cs, because we have already file in our repository. So let's just mention cs and press tab button. It will auto complete our file name. Then just hit enter, and then this is what basically our IP address. So here it is, as you can see, the localhost and 192.168.0.10, which is my machine IP, local IP, and then 8501 is the port where we are running our agent with the help of Streamlit. So this is what our agent, as you can see, CSV query app and browse files. So here we want to simply upload our Excel file. So browse files, go to the repository, then this is what our CSV file, just select it, click on open, and then as you can see, this is what our data, which we just create with the help of our ultralytics YOLO11. So this is what our data, and here you can simply mention number of files you have. If you have 13 files, just click on browse files, mention 13 files, or you can simply mention one by one file as per your requirement. And then here you will simply select the files. Here we have a calendar. As per date, you can select the particular date. You can simply mention that particular CSV file, mention it, and then you can ask any queries. So here you will we have our options as per our table. We have here track ID, we have here label, we have here date, and we have here time. So this is what our table basically. So you can select any option. So I will not select here any option right now. We will just ask the query as per our data with the help of our agent, our own agent. So let's just enter our query. Let me say here, I just want to know how many numbers, how many count numbers right now we have. So I will simply mention here how many count numbers, and if I hit enter, as you can see, it's basically processing the data, generating the answer, and then we have answer. There are 11 count numbers. So if you go here, so we have basically 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and then here we have 11 also, as you can see. So it's basically counting all the numbers. We create here a file which basically counting same number, because we run the same code again and again. That's why the sheet is like this way. So what we will do, we will delete the sheet and we will create a new data. Okay, simple. So let's just open our code, and this time what we will do, we will delete our CSV file, because for our knowing purpose we run the code again and again. That's why the data is like 1 2 3 4. We stop the code and again we start the code. That's why again 1 2 3 4 count is there. So now we will continuously run our code, then we will get a perfect data. So let's just start our YOLO11 sec-track.py, and we will continuously track. Okay, so we will let count number 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, and then this one is 10. Done. Let's just stop the code. Now we have perfect data. So let's just open our Internet Explorer, because by default the Streamlit will open with Internet Explorer. Simple. You can simply open with the Chrome also, because we have here IP address. You need to simply mention the IP address inside the Chrome browser, mention the port number, and then the app will automatically open. So because we have now new file, so let's just again browse the new file. Click on browse file, and then go to the downloads, Freedom Tech, our folder, and we have our CSV file. Click on open, and then we have now our new file. So let's just or we can simply let's just remove all these things, freshly open browse files, just upload the new file, and then we have now perfect data. As you can see, 1 4, this is the track ID. As I mentioned, this is the track ID, this is basically the index, and this is the label, this is the date, and this is the time. Now let's just ask the query for our agent. So how many count do we have? If I hit enter, processing data, get answer, and then we have 10 counts. Of course we count 10. So 1, as you can see, the ID1 count number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So we have 10 count. So now let's just say we know that we have 10 count. So I will ask like this way, what is count 5 track. What is count 5 track ID? And just hit enter. It's generating the answer, and count 5 track ID is 17. So if you go here and ID 17 count at number 5 means when we count 5 number cattle, or we can say when we count at the number 5 cattle, and that cattle track ID is basically the 17. This is the answer. This is the answer which we get with the help of our data using our own chatbot, our own agent with the help of Grok Cloud. Also we use here a Gemini API key. Now let's just say I just want to know the timing. So what is count 5 time? If I hit enter, it will search our sheet, and then we have, according to context, count 5 is 17, ID 17, no problem. Let's just say what is time, what is the time for track ID, not track ID, what is the time for count 5? If I hit enter, and as you can see, based on provided context, the timestamp for count 5 is, this is the date and this is the time, 14:59:39. So if you go here, this is what this is the query. We ask count 5 time, so count 5 time is basically the date and 14:59:39. So friends, this is how it is now really easy to get the particular track ID data, particular track ID count, the time, with the help of our own agent also. So in this session I have created own agent. We create our own model which detect our object. We save the data inside our Excel sheet, and we use Grok Cloud API key, we use Gemini API key, we create our own chatbot, and then you can ask any questions related to your database. I have mentioned the full code inside our repository, so you need to simply create the model with the help of RoboFlow. That's it. So I hope you will learn something from this video. We'll meet our next video. Till then, thank you, take care, and bye bye.